Video number 6. I have now been in Japan officially for 2 weeks, which is pretty awesome. So, bit of a celebration there. My Japanese is still absolutely terrible, as I am discovering every day, but it's getting better. Especially at this house, I'm learning quite a lot of words that I wasn't before. Just simple stuff like, when you get home, say things like tadaima, or, if someone else gets home, say okaeri nasai. And that's all stuff I should have known before, but whatever, man. It's a lot to learn in the short space of time that I gave myself to prepare. And tomorrow I'm going to my second host officially. It's been a really, really hectic week, this one, as you will know if you watched my last video. Had to leave my last host in a huge hurry. I forgot stuff. I forgot my welly boots. I forgot my raincoat, and my host posted them on to me because I realized as I was driving or being driven to the train station, I was like, shit, I forgot my stuff. So they packed it to me, but one thing I did forget is my work gloves, which I left in the car, my nice thick ones, which would have come in handy the last, yesterday when I was out working, and the only gloves they had were ones with like holes in them. It was freezing. Speaking of which, yeah, it is pretty cold in Japan right now. Um, Not as cold as it kind of was in the UK. It was snowing when I left the UK. And the weather in Japan, it seems to be kind of just more erratic. It's slightly warmer, but it will go as cold as the UK, and then sometimes in the day it'll get really kind of warm for a bit. Hopefully, it might be a little bit warmer at my next host since it's more southerly, and I'm hoping it gets warmer faster. I think next week is going to be a lot nicer. This week was a bit rainy and cloudy and horrible. So I've just been layering up this room in particular. I did have a heater, but that ain't working anymore. I think it might just run out of gas, and I can't be ask them to refill it because it's my last day. And there is a kind of a table warmer that you put your legs under here in my room, but it's broken. So it's been wrapping up super warm now. I've got 3 layers on, and when I go out, I put a 4th layer on, which is pretty much the way Japanese people do it because of the way homes are built here. There's no central heating, and there's gaps in the walls everywhere. It's not really built to hold heat at all. But I think it should be nice in the summer, at least. As I mentioned in the last video as well, there were a couple woofers here when I arrived. They're both gone now. The first one I barely got a chance to speak to before she left. Second one was here for still sort of a couple of days, and she's really, really nice. And I've got her on Facebook, so if you're seeing this now by any chance, sup, yo. And yeah, after that, I'm doing a few different things. Some of it is just like various stuff, like picking bad strawberries or cutting off stalks. They grow strawberries or ichigo here, and basically it's been different every day, which is part of why it's been so hectic. I feel like I've not been settled at all here yet, and especially because I got 4 or 5 days to spend here. I'm not really gonna get settled, so it's been a little bit stressful, honestly. Because there's country culture and there's regional culture and there's also what I call family culture, which is just little things like that you get used to. It's when the way they eat, the way that they take showers in turn, and so on. And it has been stressful because for the few days I've been here, I think I'm just about kind of starting to settle in, and I'm off tomorrow to my next host. But that one I'm going to be probably for over a month there, so hopefully that's going to be really nice and give me a chance to sort of settle and learn more Japanese, because while I've been learning Japanese in my day-to-day here, because things have been so hectic, and because I've been doing different jobs every day, and like between afternoon and morning, I can't really be listening to Japanese while I've been doing it. That's the kind of thing you do when you're used to a job and you're just doing kind of routine, which is nice. I mean, I was not comfortable at all. When was it? 2 days ago on Thursday. Today is the 9th, by the way. Yeah, I was not comfortable at all because I had to sort of help them put up. They're basically building a new place to grow peaches, and I had to climb up and sort of drill using a power drill nails into these metal poles while kind of balancing on this thing. And it's not that bad. To be honest, it was just kind of about higher than me, slightly higher, but I'm one clumsy motherfucker, and people say you're afraid of heights. No, I'm not really afraid of heights. I'm just logical because I have no center of balance. I'm clumsy as shit, and I always fall over. So I do not like being on high things or on ledges where I have a chance to fall down, because it's illogical for I fucking will fall down and hurt myself. I broke my leg when I was a kid doing fucking ice skating, so I do not trust myself on ledges at all. But I think they kind of got the gist of that. I said to them, I explained this. I was like, center of balance, or like balance, jozu janai hontoni, which is like my center of balance, skill very bad, truly. Which, those are pretty much the exact words I use, because like I say, I'm using broken Japanese most of the time. But getting the point across. I mean, there's a funny point here that a lot of people in Japan, even if you can speak Japanese, they'll still speak to you in English, which is quite funny because of the kind of the shopkeeper today. I was helping out the shop, and she was kind of speaking to me in sort of broken English, and then I was speaking back to her in broken Japanese. And it does sound like a messed up system, but it does kind of work, because if you speak to someone in your own language, which they half understand, half the stuff they're not going to get. Whereas if you speak to them in their own language, even if it is broken, they're probably going to get what you're saying. So, yeah, it does sort of work. I'm interested to see how much English my next host know. They have been able to write pretty good sort of English emails to me, and I say pretty good as in things like, "It's an easy job, so with confidence, Greg." But for her, that's pretty good kind of stuff. Everyone else has just been writing to me in like kanji and me using Google Translate to translate it, or them using Google Translate and then posting that below what they've written. So for them to make the effort to actually type it in English, and for them to get that far, I reckon they might be pretty good. I'll find that out tomorrow. And as I said before, I'm going to be working with animals, things like pigs and dogs and ducks and shit. And I'm actually looking forward to that. I like animals. They've got a dog here. They kind of leave it by itself a lot of the time, which I don't like. I like to spend time with the dog just so it's not by itself. To be fair, they are pretty busy. The family here, they've got like a 2-year-old who is like almost all 2-year-olds, a little bastard. He just, like, when I was taking a shower just then, tried to sort of get in, and I was like, no, but it's quite amusing, in that stage where he's sort of constantly throwing temper tantrums. So it is funny, although I can sympathise with how stressed out the parents must be, because they've also got a baby, and they're also sort of looking after, I think, another family member's kid as well, is also 2, though she's really, really, really sweet and well behaved. And then I think another family member also has a 2-year-old. So it is a noisy house. That's another reason I haven't been able to sort of do so many Japanese lessons. Though I'm going to try and do one after this video or after dinner, whatever time that might be. So, You can see why I've been a bit. Well, I haven't been able to settle yet, but soon I'm gonna get to go to my next house, and I am really excited. Tomorrow I'm gonna ride the Shinkansen. I'm getting the bus at about sort of 10 o'clock, going to the Shinkansen station, and then I'll be riding there. And the Shinkansen is really expensive. It's supposed to be like, well, I might have been able to plan this in advance and get there by the night bus or something, but honestly, with how fucked up things have been, I think I may as well just ride the Shinkansen. Because, for one, I can just do it once and then it'll be an experience I can talk about and have an experience on. And in the future, then I'll probably take the night bus, which will be a lot cheaper. And yeah, it's probably good that I didn't book in advance or anything, given that I've now had to switch hosts from one to this one. And yeah, the other night as well, they've asked me to cook a couple times here, which was a little bit nerve-wracking because English food is bad. I was like hoping anyone didn't, but I made French toast for breakfast the other day. The kids seemed to really like that. And I made chili the other day, yesterday evening, which was fun for me. I haven't gotten to make chili in weeks. And I love chili. Chili is my favourite food. And they do some really sweet curries here, but chili is where it's at. Unfortunately, I didn't do it as hot as I liked. I'm not sure it was even hot enough for them, because I didn't want to like go overboard. You know, I'm cooking for like 6 Japanese people. They might like really be sensitive to spices or whatever, including like the grandma and the grandpa. So, you know, I didn't want to go overboard, but I think I went underboard and it didn't have enough flavor. So, not enough. But at the next house, I think I'll probably have another chance to cook, and I'll cook a better chili that time, hopefully. Either way, it was pretty tasty. I got my fill of meat, and trying to cook with Japanese ingredients is a bit of a challenge because they had no beef mince in the supermarket. So I improvised. I got pork mince and just pieces of beef, which I then chopped up smaller and put them both in. So a bit of a mixed chili, and got some paprika and some cumin, and they had chili powder. Preferably, though, I really prefer it with fresh chili peppers. It gives such a lovely flavor. But yeah, I think that is enough for now. I will speak to you when I am at my next host. Oh, before I go, I should show you some of the stuff I've got. Yeah, you know what, to hell with that. I'm not getting all my stuff out, especially since I've packed it all for tomorrow mostly. I just got a couple gachapons. One is from Dragon Quest, the all famous slime. They had one with all different slimes, and I love Dragon Quest, so I had to get one of those. And I'm also a fan of One Piece, so I had to get one of those as well. And it was the One Piece film Z, which is massive at the moment. It's the film that's just come out in Japan, and this one's directed by the actual manga writer himself, as opposed to some randomer, which is what they normally do with movies, just filler. And everyone's wearing crazy costumes, which is just an excuse for them to sell limited edition merchandise of them in all these costumes, basically. And I got Chopper, which is not my favorite, but whatever. And if any of my friends are watching this, and if you want some little things like Gachapon, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. I know one of my friends wants to get some fairy tale Gachapon, so if I spot some good ones, I've already seen some little pendants, I'll try and get one of those. Anyway, I think dinner is going to be soon, so I'm going to do this video in the thing that makes the video be uploadable to YouTube, and then finish packing for tomorrow, and I will update once I get to Minamata. Later.